So in our today's class, let us know about the applications of Cold-Rush law. We have many applications for this Cold-Rush law. Let us know one by one. The first application is calculation of a equivalent conductance at infinity dilution for a weaker electrolytes. From our previous knowledge, we know that the weak electrolytes do not undergo complete ionization at moderate concentrations. So upon dilution, its dissociation increases, thereby the conductance of a weak electrolyte increases. But for weak electrolytes, we do not get a limiting value even at infinity dilution. That means we cannot experimentally find the lambda infinity for a weak electrolytes. So however, we can calculate the lambda infinity for a weak electrolyte using Cold-Rush law. So for that, we are taking an example of acetic acid. So here the lambda infinity for acetic acid, according to Cold-Rush law, can be written as the sum of the equivalent conductance due to the anion plus the equivalent conductance due to the cation. So here this is written based on the Cold-Rush law. So now we are going to find this equivalent conductance of the weak electrolyte, that is acetic acid, using Cold-Rush law. So we know the strong electrolytes will undergo complete ionization and its equivalent conductance increases upon dilution and becomes constant at a particular dilution, which is called as limiting value, that is equivalent conductance at infinity dilution for strong electrolytes. It can be determined experimentally. So now we take the equivalent conductance of strong electrolytes like HCl and sodium acetate and lambda infinity for KCl. So these three are strong electrolytes. We can find experimentally these three values, and according to Cold-Rush law, we can write the equivalent conductance of this electrolyte can be written as the combination of lambda H plus plus lambda Cl minus. For this, lambda CH3COO minus, that is acetate ion, plus lambda K plus. For this, lambda of potassium ion plus lambda of Cl minus ion. Right? So let us assume this is equation 2, this is equation 3, this is equation 4. So from equation 2, by adding equation 2 with 3 and subtracting the equation 4, what do we get here? So here lambda H plus lambda Cl, lambda infinity of Cl plus lambda infinity of CH3COOK plus minus lambda infinity of KCl. So finally what do we get here? Lambda H plus lambda Cl minus plus lambda CH3COO minus plus lambda K minus lambda K minus lambda Cl minus. So we know these two will cancel and these two will cancel. So finally we get these two ions, which is equals to the lambda infinity of acetic acid, which is equals to the lambda infinity of acetic acid. So from these three equivalent conductance of these strong electrolytes, by combining them in this way, we will get the equivalent conductance of a weak electrolyte. Application is calculation of ionic mobility of a cation. So we know, according to our previous studies, according to our previous discussions, the ionic conductance of a cation is proportional to the ionic mobility of the cation. So by removing this constant, we will get UC. So here UC is equals to lambda C by K. Here UC is equals to lambda C by 96,500. So using this relation, if we know the ionic conductance of a cation, we can calculate the ionic mobility of a cation. This is our third application, that is calculation of degree of dissociation, which is denoted by alpha. What is alpha? Degree of dissociation. This is defined as the ratio of total number of electrolyte molecules dissociated to that of total number of electrolyte molecules dissolved, which can be calculated from this relation. That is, here alpha is equals to equivalent conductance at concentration C of an electrolyte to that of equivalent conductance at infinity dilution. So from this relation, we can calculate the degree of dissociation. So the fourth application is calculation of solubility for the sparingly soluble salts. Examples for sparingly soluble salts is silver chloride, silver bromide or lead sulfate. What are the sparingly soluble salts? These salts are very less soluble in water. Such type of salts are called sparingly soluble salts. Even though these salts are having less solubility in water, but they completely undergo ionization. So in order to calculate the solubility for sparingly soluble salts, initially we have to prepare a saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt like silver chloride, and we have to measure the specific conductance and equivalent conductance for these saturated solution, and we have a relation between the equivalent conductance and the specific conductance, that is lambda infinity equals to K into 1000 by C. Here C is the normality, that is gram equivalent per liter. The units for concentration here, normality is gram equivalent per liter. Here we know the sparingly soluble salts, even though having less solubility in water, they completely undergo ionization. So therefore here the concentration C is nothing but solubility. Here the concentration C is nothing but the solubility of the sparingly soluble salts, and the units for it is gram equivalents per liter.